Good morning.
Well, I'm the big bleeper,
I'm the little bleeper.
and here we are. What are we? Friday. Friday's always a good day, isn't it?
Friday, fun day.
Friday fun day. That was anyway.
We are
I was going to
the
say.
bleepers on a couch drinking tea today because
Oh, don't even go
we
there.
have tea, not coffee.
I don't know if this show can actually operate on tea. We'll see. We'll see if we can operate on tea. Health stuff. We're looking at bits and pieces. So yeah, there you go. So today we are talking about SEO or pay-per-click. And it's a question we get asked quite a bit. Where should I put my time? What's going to give me the best results? And the answer to that is neither. You need to actually do both. And you need to be very committed to doing both because they actually operate on different ends of the same spectrum. So SEO is the long term and pay-per-click is the instant. So if you have excellent pay-per-click campaigns, that's really like a tap you can turn on and off. And if you have excellent SEO, that's going to provide you free leads on a running stream.
Yeah, just consistent.
Yeah.
Consistent lead generation.
And so as you build your SEO out better and better, you can get more and more leads just consistently coming through. So people picking up the phone and finding you online and they ring you. So let's probably go through. We'll start with...
Sorry, SEO and pay-per-click isn't funny, but the big bleeper's wearing a beanie today, which is kind of a little bit funny.
Okay. Well, yes. We okay. I haven't wanted to talk about this because it's not part of what we do, but we are experimenting with eating once a day, and interestingly, I don't normally get cold during the day, but it's cold weather in Melbourne at the moment. We're getting days of, I think yesterday was 8 degrees throughout the day, and I was actually cold, so I've decided this morning, beanie. I've got the beanie on inside the house. I look like a wood chopper, a lumberjack, and there you go.
And I'm finding it a little bit amusing, but that's fine. We'll be serious now.
All right, so SEO, the biggest problem with SEO is it's not instant. It actually takes time, and you've got to take the time to actually set it up. And of course, most companies that we're dealing with just don't want to pay us $10,000 to do it all at once.
And then it does change. On top of that, or you do it, and then something changes again. And so you got to tweak it.
Tweak it.
But it doesn't change to a point where it renders everything you've done useless. It just changes something.
No, well, Google updates their algorithm,
Yeah.
and so therefore they're looking for different things.
Yeah, but it's important to know that it's not all redundant.
No,
it's
not redundant.
What you've done is not redundant. It's just you've just got to tweak it and move in maybe a slightly different direction, or do something that you've never done before, or stop doing something that you used to do that you don't need to do anymore. That sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So
the problem here is that when Google changed the algorithm, things that they thought were important last time, or they found that have been manipulated by people last time, they changed. So just in the Penguin change, which was the most recent, I believe, they basically changed SEO, what we call on page, which means how you actually organise your blogs and how those blogs are written. They used to actually ask you to have a certain amount of keywords per page, but that's changed now. They don't really care about that because their AI is better. Their AI can actually tell the difference between... So in the old days, you had to have... If your keyword was pyjamas, you had to have pyjamas mentioned 7 to 8 times on the page. Well, now, if you use the word sleepwear, their AI can tell that is pyjamas. And so you can actually make it much more natural language. Whereas you look at some blogs that were written a few years ago, sometimes they get you wondering why are they using that phrase, because we actually don't normally chase what we call a short tail keyword, so like pyjamas. We would normally chase a long tail keyword, which is women's long sleeve pyjamas, because the word pyjamas will be owned by a major corporation most probably. So someone like Maya or Peter Alexander or someone like that who's actually got the money will actually go and chase that word. So it's easier to go after long tail keywords that are more specific, and you actually have several of those rather than try to get one big one. So yeah, there's two basic types of SEO. The main one is on your website, so making sure your website's actually all hooked up and it actually talks to Google properly. And the second one is obviously on-page SEO, so what we're actually doing on each page and how the words formulate to communicate the message back to Google. So there's several things we have to do, and they're literally just a checklist. You can actually buy a program that runs you through it, and if you want to write all your own blogs, we can help you do that. We'll tell you what programs to get, and we love it when our clients do their own blogs because that saves us an enormous amount of time and obviously saves you money. So pay-per-click, what do we like about pay-per-click the most?
What I love about pay-per-click the most is that it actually works, or you can work out how to get it to work.
Well, you can turn it on, can't you? Like a tap.
Yeah, whereas like traditional advertising is just see how we go. This is what I want to put in it. See how we go. It's so fluffy, and such a waste of money. Whereas a pay-per-click campaign is it's back to data-driven decisions. It's back to turning on the tap, turning off the tap. If you're really busy this week, you've got a big project on, you don't need any leads, you turn the thing off. It's just it's got so many good things about it, which I can't rattle off the top of my head because.
No, I mean you've hit on a couple of really good ones. One of the things is obviously you can turn it on and off, but the data-driven decisions is amazing because with a newspaper ad, when we used to do newspaper ads, we used to keep a scrapbook, and we'd have each ad, and underneath each ad we'd have written what actually happened to it. So we got 3 calls, we got 1 sale, we got we made so much money, and then you'd have to keep going back through the scrapbook to try and find out whether it's working or not. Is this ad better than the last one? What about that one last year in November? Did that work better?
Yeah, but you could republish an ad that worked well, and it doesn't mean it's going to work well now.
No, and you can't.
Because it's not real time.
That's right.
So last year in that particular time, yes, it did work, and then you spend a think, well, my best spend is that ad because I know that it actually worked a year ago, and then you put it in and nothing happens.
Yeah. Whereas with pay-per-click, with all the data we've got coming through, we can actually tell what is working yesterday, and so we can actually make changes to make that work better.
Well, and there's 2 lots of data. There's the data before you put the ad in, because you're targeting the ad to data, and then it's the data after you've published the ad to tell you how well you're hitting that target.
Yeah.
So
it's this constant circle of feedback.
Yeah.
And on top of that, we can actually change the ads on the fly. And on top of that, we actually run split test ads, which means we run 2 or 3 ads at the same time, and we drop off the ones that don't work and leave the winner running.
Yeah.
So
it's cloning, and you can clone it once, or you can clone it 4 times.
Yeah, or 10 times. Yeah.
Or 10 times. So just change one thing, one word, one picture, and then you could literally see average results go to fantastic, or a really good campaign just drop off completely because of a little change. So you immediately know that one's just not working. So
or just changing the picture on an ad can make all the difference.
Yeah.
So and changing the headline. So
sorry, that's another thing I love is that it's not what I like, and it's not my opinion that matters.
Yes.
In this kind of advertising.
Yeah.
The only thing that matters with this kind of advertising is what works. So again, with traditional advertising, did I like the look of it? Did it have spelling mistakes? It was all about my opinion, what I thought I wanted my business to look like in a newspaper. Whereas it had nothing to do with whether or not it was going to work. I was hoping that it would work, but that wasn't part of the equation at the beginning. Whereas pay-per-click it doesn't matter if you like that photo or not like that photo. If that video is working better, that's the best one, and that's the one you like the least, that's the one you go with.
Yeah, because it's making you money.
Because it's making you money.
Yeah.
And it's plain and simple.
Now, at the end of the day, this all culminates in one thing, doesn't it?
Yes.
And what's that?
Is that when you apply, there's SEO and there's pay-per-click, and they can be two separate things. But if you apply pay-per-click to a campaign that's already SEO'd and it's talking to Google in the way that it needs to get organic traffic, you will pay up to 80% less per click.
Yeah, and if you're a rich person who's just coming in to buy your traffic, Google will charge you up to 400% more for each click.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to send traffic to you.
Yeah.
But they'll take the money. If you're going to throw money at them, they'll take it. But the reality is you're just going to pay through the nose for those ads.
So just a quick rundown of an easy equation. A $2 pay-per-click equals...
So that's the average pay-per-click in Australia at the moment?
It's $2.
It's $2.
So if you have 0 or pretty close to 0 SEO, you'll end up paying $8 for that click. And if you have good SEO, you could pay down to 80 cents per click.
Yeah.
So that is very, very serious stuff because...
Google's rewarding the real.
Yeah.
They want the person who's real, the best expert, the one who's got the most chance of satisfying the customer to get the lead.
Yeah, and if you do all this work, as I said, to talk to Google and get organic traffic, and you're enjoying that process after a year, you've got organic traffic, you've got a good position in your local area or online, you've got good reviews, you're ticking all those boxes, and then you add a pay-per-click campaign, it's literally the icing on the cake. So it's the cream on your frappe, it's the fluff on your coffee, it's the extra bit where you make some serious money.
Now I'm really hungry.
Because not only do we have data, but because we've got data, you can then scale the campaign however you like. You can scale it down, as I said, if you're busy, or you can literally say, this week I've got this particular thing, I'm going to do a funnel just for that because I've got a lot of stock and I've got it at a really good price. And then you once you work out the what's working, then you just scale it up tenfold if you want and run it for a month. And
one thing we haven't talked about here, which we won't go into in detail, but
because it could be another day,
it's another blog. But yeah, the guys that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month on pay-per-click, they aren't spending $2,000. They're spending $200,000 to make $100,000, and they understand the law of leverage. They understand what's actually happening with actual investment, and this is one thing we keep running up against with our clients.
Yeah, they're not spending $10 and getting $100,000 back.
No, that just doesn't happen. No, they treat it like an investment. They say, okay, I spent $100, and I made, every time I spent $100, I actually made $12.50 profit.
Yeah.
Well, if I ramp that up, I can actually make some serious money.
Yeah.
Because it's a definite return on investment. Anyway, that's us for today. I'm the big bleeper.
Have a great Friday.
Yep. Who are you?
I'm the little bleeper.
Great. Cheers, guys.
Bye.